guys, what's up? So this week's video is probably going to be a little late, but that's because we had some visitors, so bear with it. It'll probably be out Wednesday, hopefully tomorrow morning, who knows. I have my phone here because I don't want to mess this up. I don't want to mess up the information I have, so I'll read some of it, and some of it I'll just give my take on it. It's another bathroom law, because those are seeming to be very popular this year, I'm guessing. But it's a good law, and New York City instated it Monday. The mayor signed the bill, and it said that transgender people will have the ability to use whatever bathroom, single bathroom. I'm not sure if that means a single restroom, like just where it's one stall, but I'm not sure. But you'll be able to use whatever restroom you identify with. It says here that in New York City, transgender people are now guaranteed the right to use whatever single-sex restroom and locker rooms they identify with in city-owned buildings. That means that if the city owns the building, you can use whatever restroom you identify with. Now, it does not mean that, say, McDonald's, who isn't owned by the city, it doesn't mean that they're gonna ID you. If they come up with a law for not like checking IDs or something like that, then you have to abide by that law. But if you go into like a museum that's owned by the city, or postal office that's owned by the city, you can use whatever restroom you feel comfortable using. Here it says, across the county, cities and states are debating who can use public restrooms, specifically whether a transgender person can use the bathroom that aligns with his or her gender identity. An exclusive order in New York City now ensures that transgender people can use the restroom or locker room they want when they're visiting any facility owned by the city, from offices to pools. NPR's I can't pronounce his first name, so it's Hansi Lo Wang gave the story. And if you want to look it up, the story is called New York City Enacts Gender Identity Rules from Restrooms, and I think it means 2 locker rooms, but it's 4 restrooms, comma, locker rooms. And it's on www.npr.org, so if you want to go take a look at it, you can. And again, the person who wrote the story is Hansi Lo, L-O, Wang, W-A-N-G. And you can even listen to the story. I'm not sure if it's the whole story, but it tells some of it. The mayor himself, Bill de Blasio, I believe is how it's pronounced, said, and I quote, "Let's face it, for too long, too many transgender and gender non-conforming New Yorkers have been harassed." And Wong says that was Mayor Bill de Blasio who signed the exclusive order today, which was Monday, with the support of transgender New Yorkers like Sean Coleman, who runs a service agency for LGBT people in the Bronx called Destination Tomorrow. Coleman says he used to limit his time outside to 4 hours for fear of having access to a public restroom. In a giant city like New York City, and especially in the Bronx, a lot of people are scared because we all know stories about the Bronx. People shouldn't have to be worried. Like I said in the first video that we did, and it was about restroom laws, people should not have to be worried about whether they can use the restroom or not. It's a restroom, guys. We're just going in to pee or do the number 2, wash your hands, and get out. You should not be sitting there thinking, how can I look at someone sexually today? If the government really thinks that people are going into the restroom and they're using these restrooms just to get access to looking at women or men because that's who they're attracted to, there's something wrong with the government that we have. I mean, I saw this picture on Facebook, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen it, of this guy who, I think it was in Texas, cowboy hat, belt buckle, jeans, beard, everything. He was a straight up dude, a transgender dude, but a dude, and they made him use the female restroom. Now, for any of my female viewers, would you feel comfortable with somebody who looked like that using the restroom with you? Because I'm sorry, but he should be using the men's room. Why? Because he is a man and he looks like a man. If you're portraying a man, that's probably the restroom you should use, because you probably are going to scare some people if you don't. I get that a lot of FTMs use the women's restroom, and yes, FTMs some of them have a 5 o'clock shadow because they have been shaving for so many years. But guess what? Get over it. We're in 2016. Your kids are going to hear about this. A lot of schools are doing sex ed on the LGBT community. That way, if it's probably not going to be until they're 16, and it's probably going to be with parents' permission, because you got to have parents' permission to do the sex ed course anyways. Yeah, you're going to have your parents sign the permission slip, but that's with any normal sex ed, so it's not a big deal. At least they're doing something. When I had sex ed in school, we didn't learn how lesbians have sex, and we didn't learn how gay people have sex. We didn't learn the safeties for those things, because I know a lot of transgender males, first they come out as being a lesbian. I think that has to do with a lot of N to F girls as well, because you probably went from being this person who was attracted to men and dressed like a girl, and that's the person you still are usually. Usually you don't change teams, as they call it, just because you change your gender identity. If you don't learn safe ways to have intercourse with somebody, then you could end up having a disease, and you have the school to blame, really, because they don't want to teach anybody, because they're afraid of the Christians and the Catholics. Gender equality is something that we all need. All the new bathroom laws that are coming in that are negative, whoever thought them up needs to have their freaking head screwed on correctly. But this new law from New York City, the mayor, he is a smart guy, Bill de Blasio, very smart man, because he understands that being harassed in your own city where you're living is not okay. Not being able to use the restroom where you live is not okay. Like in my first video, it's just a restroom. You're just going there to go pee or go poop. Wash your hands and leave. That's it. But shout out to the mayor of New York City. Good guy. If he ever sees this video, I don't think he ever will, but if he does, you're a good man. Alright, see you guys.